Hello Leos, and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica, and welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get right to it. Let's see what energies are coming through for you. And this one will be your overall energies for the week. I'm just touching into, we're in Mercury retrograde shadow at this time, so feelings are very high right now. So don't get lost too much in them. Just make sure your communication is real clear. Tempers can flare, especially you Leos, fire signs. So make sure that we are taking a few counts before we respond, so that we can respond in a more effective way. A lot of people are going to be on edge. So a little tip there to get through these high emotional times. I'm feeling it actually on the bottom right there. Hidden path. So this is your overall energy, hidden path, the marriage of spirit and matter. I love that. And let's go ahead and go to your higher self or your future self for the energies for the week. Right, I'm feeling it, but it's not distinct enough. There it is, right there. Right there. Isa, stillness, pause, and delicacy. So your higher self or your future self is bringing in a message for maybe some stillness going on. Feeling that one right there. Soul radiance, Phoenix rising. Okay. And then last but not least, this will be your action or your non-action of what energy to take on this week for you. Oh, I'm feeling it. Sticky. Feels sticky. It's not really sticky, but it feels sticky. That one right there. Volunteer. Okay. So let's go ahead and tap into the message for further guidance. The overall energy, it's in reverse. Hold on, let me see. No, I don't have it. I do not have it. I thought my deck was upside down. It's not. Page of Swords, or Ace of Swords, excuse me. Page of Pentacles. There's a page. It was coming. We have Queen of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Hierophant. Knight of Cups. Ace of Wands. Oh, right there on the bottom. World. Beautiful. The Chariot. Lovers. And the Ace of Cups. All right. So, no surprise that the Sun is in reverse right now, honestly. I'm feeling with this energy that our joy is could be a little bit stifled here in the next several weeks. So, or at least a little bit of a roller coaster ride when it comes to our emotions a bit. So hang on, is what I'm hearing you say. Let's get this upright, right? But for now, we're going to leave it in reverse and let it just be there. We know that the sun will rise again, okay? So that's the message there. The Ace of Swords is really encouraging us to be very clear on our communication right now, like I was saying. So this is when communication is coming to us or when communication is deserved, to make sure that we are putting in a lot of thought and slowness to that. And I'm hearing that with your higher and future self to just use a lot of caution right now. Stillness, pause, and delicacy. And I'm really feeling that emphasized with this, because delicacy is really deserved at this time, with everyone on edge and communication being the focal point of what is deserved for change. And that's what Mercury in retrograde really does symbolize, and especially with Mars right now being in Gemini, is that it is really getting clear and taking pause before we respond or we react, instead of reacting, responding. So really focus on maybe taking a 1, 2, 3 count before we move forward. And I always love, there's an illustration about communication of the pause. There is this point between when someone says something and you respond or react to something, and there's this magical pause, and it can be as long as you want it to be to respond to something. There's a and when we do is when the magic happens. And when we take that pause and really own it, and we respond and have clarity and thought behind how we do it, is when we can either have the choice to build on a relationship or tear it down. We can build trust with it, or we can condemn someone or criticize someone, and we can tear down the bond we have with them. And I really love that, because the power is in the pause, is what I'm definitely hearing here. And the Page of Pentacles is right here, and there's, I feel like, the offering. I'm almost feeling like that offering is the pause, is that's the hidden path to the marriage of spirit and matter, and that is the pause. That is, from our spirit knows what to do, and when we go into words, we create matter. And so the pause is in that beautiful space between our ability to hear a message and react or respond to it. And I'm really feeling that that page holding up that pentacle is the pause. So with going into Isa, the energy of Isa and her beautiful delicacy, you can just hear her twinkling there of just that silence, and that I'm thinking of a winter morning when all the snow has fallen and no one's woken up yet, and the earth is not, the city hasn't come to life yet, and it's just that twinkling of stillness, of silence. And it's very beautiful, and with all of the energies, it's really to tap into that right now. Shadowy aspect of Mercury can actually be a lot more. We can really stir up a lot of things during the shadow, sometimes even more than the actual retrograde. So be very, very cautious and very delicate with this time with your communication. And that's the hidden path that I'm hearing. And for you to tap into that, you go into this beautiful Queen of Pentacles energy, and she is very nurturing, but I love her energy because she can create whatever she wants. She has that knowing, she has the delicacy, but the power to do it, and she does it. But it's getting very clear on that and grounding into that energy. And when we do, it is a balancing act, because with all of these emotions and feelings, and don't get too hard on yourself if you respond in a way or you react in a way that isn't working. It's showing you where you're at and what is deserving on change. And so this balance, it's going to be it's a tightrope right now. It's really a balancing act between how we choose to show up and where the messages are and where that hidden path is to everything we seek, right? And sometimes it is being in a moment of letting someone say something to us because we know, we can see where they're at, we can know what's going on in the world. There's a lot of people who they're not fully aware of Mercury retrograde and the effect that it has on us, and so they're going through life in a very blind way of just reacting to life. And so if they're passing us, with a finger up in the air, and you just were driving, perhaps sending them a moment of love rather than tapping into the aggression as well, and showing them, maybe respond in a way of knowing and having that wisdom of what's going on, and perhaps they don't. They're just flailing through life in a very unconscious way. And the Hierophant is here. I love this. Hierophant energy is there's a few meanings with this. And what is coming to mind with this one is the initiation process of the Hierophant. So it is going into initiation, then apprenticeship, and then mastery. And perhaps with all of this energy of communication, perhaps it's the energy of going into the mastery of being able to communicate even through a Mercury retrograde. Now, with that said, even if we show up in initiation of just reacting, that is part of the process. We all have to start somewhere. But once it comes out of your mouth, or that was the response or the reaction, perhaps now is the time to look at that with wisdom and going, that's not what I wanted to do. And then that's when we make changes and we move into apprenticeship of becoming a master, of really now being aware of the pause, of the ability to destroy or create strength in our relationships through our communication. So we go into your guides and your higher self and all of the gods and goddess energy that are supporting you. And it's soul radiance, phoenix rising. And I think that this goes beautifully along with that, because when we do go into mastery, we are the phoenix rising. We're rising from perhaps old ways of being, or how our parents spoke, or family, and we, through our own healing, through our own choice of healing and mastery, we rise above toxic ways of being, and we really are able to from the ashes create something extremely beautiful of our life, and a new, because that's the ripple effect. And when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. And when I heal myself, when I raise my vibration, I send that to you. Everything that I've learned, I literally roll it into the universe, and it reaches you. And the same thing with what you do, it reaches me, it reaches to the cosmos. So it's so beautiful here. I love the Knight of Cups. That's that offering, that's that full cup. It's taking sure steps on his steed here. I love it's emotion, it's being balanced, it's saying, yes, this is full of feeling and emotion and love, and this could be an offering. And I do feel that with the progression of this, when we get really clear, and as you can see with moving along here, because you've got the World and you've got the Lovers here, as well as the Chariot, and I'll pick those up in just a minute. But when you choose to step into these energy of really being able to step onto the path of communication and delicacy and stillness, we go into mastery of life, so that we can have full cups of what we're offering to our loved ones. And when we do that, we spark this creativity and a new way of being, and new worlds are made. Like, this is an offering. We not only are giving a new offering, but we are getting offered a new way of life, new relationships, healthy relationships, when we step into really, well, those hidden paths, the pause, that just that little space between reacting and responding. And so, and when we do that with just that connection, so you've got the marriage of spirit and matter, right? So that's right here, the marriage of spirit and matter. And then you've got the World card. And to me, what I'm hearing is that's how we create our world. That's how we merge the two, is when in our words, our language, you know, it's the goddess Saraswati that's in charge of our ability to articulate ourselves in language. There's so many emotions and feelings that go on, and then we make it very, in its own way, so rudimentary by putting a language to how we feel and putting things into words. But that's what we are to do on this level, on this realm, so that we grow and we learn how to express ourselves and articulate ourselves and in such a beautiful way. And we do that through music, and we do it through art and creativity, and we create the world through this thing with language, and it becomes matter. Our language, our energy becomes matter, and it starts with language. When we write an intention or something we would like to experience in our life, and we write it down in language, we are creating matter. And so that's how we build our worlds. And with all of this, I'm really hearing that the action is to volunteer. And I don't know if it's actually to go and volunteer at a soup kitchen or volunteer. I'm getting this a lot this week in the readings, to go out and be of service to others, especially when there's, heavy energies, or we're stuck on something, especially in this ebb and flow of all these energies coming through. It's really to kind of be of service to other people, do some kind gesture, and get out there. And when we do that and we apply all of these hidden truths and these hidden paths, then I'm seeing the Chariot. And you can see here, it's success. It is complete success. It is, this is the Cancerian, I believe, Magician card in its own way, because he's got the star here on his canopy. And he has a plan, and he's setting off, and it is successful. And when we are thinking of others, when we are being in service to others, and applying all these truths of merging spirit and matter together, we create the worlds we want and the relationships. It's a success. This is another World card and Magician card, all wrapped into one of anything that you want to do in this life, you can create it. And I really believe that's the message. And then the next step is the Lovers. Like, that's what happens, is that you create this vulnerability and a safe space to do it by being in your delicacy, by not destroying relationships with harsh words or reacting rather than responding. And so we create those spaces that love can happen, whether it's just friendship or whether it is actual partnership and in romance. It is something that, if we treat those spaces with a sacredness and respect, then we have the flourishing ground to really make the magic happen of the world we want, of the worlds we want, the partnerships, the reflection of us. So this is your cup overflowing. I feel like this is just the energy. This is a beautiful map to the hidden paths of what you really want to create, and that is this harmony. We want connection. That's why we're here, is connection. And so maybe by volunteering and getting out of your comfort zone is how we give a full cup, and then we are offered it in return. And I love this. This is this is a beautiful reading for this week for you Leos. It's absolutely gorgeous. That beautiful fire energy that you have, really work that into directing it into, if you really want to set all that power to something, set it in the pause. Delicacy. Okay, I'm really hearing that at this time right now, and that's your magic to you creating really what you want to create at this time. So really beautiful. Again, for the bigger scope of your reading, make sure to check out your rising and your moon. There's messages for you there. And yeah, Leos, I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.